Hi guys, I wanted to share something with you. This is a polishing tumbler that I've recently bought for polishing jewellery. I'm very pleased with the results that I get. This is a bit of pewter that's been polished in there, and these pieces, some of them, I don't know which now, some of them were put in the tumbler straight out of the sand casting, and it's done a beautiful job of polishing the pewter. It'll do silver as well, but there are some deficiencies with the machine. There was some bits and pieces that I felt needed modification. And first of all, I've put some lines down around the drum, and I'll explain why in a moment. When the drum arrives, it also comes with steel shot. I'll just show you the shot. I must admit that I was surprised to find that this is actually a steel shot that'll go rusty. I rather took it for granted that it would be stainless steel, but you can buy stainless steel, but just be aware it's a bit of a pain because it means you've got to dry it all off and maybe heat it when you've finished using it, otherwise it will go rusty, and I can tell you it goes rusty very quickly. Okay, I said I'd made some modifications, and the first modification I've made is I've put these marks around the end of the drum, and that's as an indicator, so as you know when the lid is fully pressed on. And you might think, well, why has he bothered doing that? What you have to do with these end caps, because they are an interference fit onto the drum, what you have to do is warm this up in hot water, and you ease them on, and then as it cools down, so it shrinks on and makes a good fit, and that's fine. The only trouble is when you come to put the second cap on, you're actually compressing the air in the chamber, and it makes it very difficult. And the manufacturer says, oh, what you've got to do is you've got to, I think they actually say you've got to burp it, you've got to sort of ease this side out and let the air out. And they say don't do it when it's cold because you'll rip the plastic, but it's a bit painful. It is a tight fit, which is good because it's got to be waterproof, but man, I love the results it gives, but I hate these end caps. So I've put those lines on to aid knowing when it's actually on. What they say is if it runs like this, then obviously it's wrong and the end caps could pop off and the whole lot could leak out. The other modification is I've filed the sharp corners off these internal fins. It's a very hard plastic that's used for these three fins, and that injury there is when I went in to reach down and get some jewellery out, and that thing, it actually broke the skin. A vicious edge on. So I've simply filed those off, and I've done that on all 6 ends. The most important modification I've made is to fit this. I don't know if I can actually line that up so as you can see. This is a plastic bolt. Yeah, you can see. This is a plastic bolt. I've drilled through one of the end caps, and I've put this plastic bolt in, and I've sealed it with a sealing compound, actually a plumbing sealing compound, not silicone, but I'll show you what I used. And what I've done is I've drilled this plastic bolt and I've tapped it so that I can put this little bung in, and this makes fitting the cap a lot easier, and I'll explain why. Okay, I've heated up my end caps now, and I can pop those on, and they go on. The first one goes on easy. I'm lining it up on my lines, I know that's fully on. When you come to put the second one on, it starts to go on reasonably easy, but then you find that as you push it on, the air inside wants to push it off, and what they say is you push it down and pull the side out. But by having this arrangement, I simply push that down. I'm trying to work around the camera, and then pop that back in, and it's nice and easy. Yeah, you've got it on fitting snugly. It's perfectly aligned. If you think you want to maintain a bit of a vacuum, you can always depress that and screw it in. Realistically, you won't hold a vacuum with a plastic seal for very long. Oh, again, when you come to take the lid off, or the end cap off, it's very difficult if you haven't got a vent, but just undo that and it'll ease off. Something else I did do as well, this tube is, I guess it's been cut with either a diamond saw or a tungsten carbide disc cutter, something like that. But the edge of it is wickedly sharp, so much so that as you struggle to put these lids on, it can actually dig into the edge of the plastic there. So I've sanded, well, I've filed and sanded that edge. Don't sand the face where you're going to be making the seal, but just that edge, and likewise with this mark around here to indicate where the lid is. Don't scratch across the lid, because the lid seal, because you could wind up with a water leak. This plastic bolt that I've got through here, I've got some small nylon bolts, but this is actually a little bolt which is part of the hinge off an old toilet seat. It's a very hard plastic, and so it takes the thread quite nicely. But what I will do is I will look and see if I can find some maybe an aquarium airline component, or an automotive product, or maybe even a garden irrigation system, something whereby you could bolt it through the lid and then just have a simple tap, rather than messing about having to screw a thread in. Anyway, I'm sure the manufacturers won't like it, and obviously that's out of warranty now, or it's out of guarantee. It's brand new, but I felt I had to make these changes to make it a more comfortable device to use. I hope that helps some folks. If it does, let me know. It's certainly made life easier for me. As I say, I've only had this a little while, but as it was, as delivered, it was just too painful to believe. But anyway, I hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. That's a bit of soapy water.